Friends to the Beaver Dam. We're gonna have some fun looking through the Queen Amidala's kit reveal. We're doing this on stream, so you might see some stuff popping up. Sounds good, Next Reaper. You have a great day. We're gonna jump in and just go right through the kit as fast as we can. Not saying that it's a kit that we can go through fast, it's just there's so much here that we are gonna have to go a little fast. But there's some interesting stuff, specifically about maybe a new Galactic Legend coming in the future, and maybe some new changes to how characters are done in Galaxy of Heroes. And I'm kind of excited for it. I'm here for it. I'm down for it. Okay, so, we're going with this front one is going to be what she looks like. The back one is going to be her summoned decoy. It's going to be a very interesting kit overall. It looks like the point is for your decoy to basically stay there, keep you guys alive, and you'll get additional buffs while she's alive. And then by the time the decoy dies, you've built up enough different stats and lowered the enemy's stats enough that you can just steamroll the enemy. So we'll kind of go through everything here. Also keep in mind the decoy does not immediately spawn. It's only if you have an Omicron. So we'll jump right in and kind of just go through these. So the first one, the basic, using her pistol from episode 1. So deal physical damage to target enemy, expose them for 2 turns, which can't be evaded if there's an active ally decoy. All Galactic Republic allies gain 3 stacks of heal over time and protection over time for 2 turns. This is going to be very important. Heal over times and protection over times, we're just going to call them HOTS and POTS right now, because that's what they're calling them in this, and I don't want to say that over and over again. Very important to this kit, so keep this in mind. If there's an active Handmaiden decoy, Galactic Republic allies recover 5% health and protection. So we're already, with just the basic, we're already getting some solid, health and protection recovery. It looks like there's going to be a lot of banner recovery in this team, and lots of survivability. And then I think the leadership ability is really where it pops into how it's going to stop the other team from just continually going at you. Special 1, I am the Queen Amidala. Dispel all buffs on all enemies, which a mass buff dispel is always great. Deal physical damage to all of them. All allies gain accuracy up. I don't know if they're preparing for dodge crons or what, but allies gain accuracy up. If there's an ally, Handmaiden decoy, stagger target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. All Galactic Republic allies gain defense penetration up and 3 HOTS and POTS for 2 turns. This attack can't be evaded. While in Grand Arena, when there's no Galactic Republic allies, or Galactic Legend allies, sorry, so trying to cut out JMK here, the attack ignores enemy protection and all allies gain critical damage up, 4 HOTS and POTS for 2 turns. All enemies are inflicted with a stack of damage over time for each active Galactic Republic ally, so normally it'll be 6 damage over time, so get some solid dots in there. Speed down, vulnerable for 2 turns, and have their cooldowns increased by 1, which can't be resisted. If there's an active Handmaiden, then it can't be evaded. Very much feels like they're preparing for dodge crons. I don't know. Okay, dispel all debuffs on allies. This is her ascension gun. So this is where we actually get our decoy. You can see her in the animation. She goes up, decoy comes in. Dispel all debuffs on all allies. So we got a cleanse and a mass buff dispel on this character, which is always great. Call all other non-Galactic Legend Galactic Republic allies to assist, and then Queen Amidala recovers 20% protection and health. Remove 50% turn meter from target enemy, which can't be resisted. They built in a lot of things into this kit, saying that she can't work with JMK. I'm just saying it now. I'm pretty sure she can still work with JMK, just like Zori can still work with Rey. But I don't know if anyone will ever actually do that, because it wastes a Zori team, it wastes a Queen Amidala team, that kind of stuff. So, if all allies are Galactic Republic and there are no Galactic Legend or Scoundrel allies, summon an ally Handmaiden. And so you don't get the Handmaiden if you have JMK, basically. If an ally Handmaiden decoy was already present, all Galactic Republic allies gain defense up, speed up, tenacity up for 2 turns, and Galactic Republic non-tank allies stealth for 2 turns, which is amazing. Okay, unique 1, loyal bodyguard. We got an Omicron on this one, but most of this is an Omicron, which is insane. Queen Amidala has 20% max health and max protection, 10% crit chance, crit damage, and all allies are immune to cooldown manipulation. It sounds like they're trying to box out Bane from this team as well as a couple other teams, but I feel like there's a lot in this kit that kind of boxes out Bane, which I think they're trying to, how absolutely insane Bane is, they're trying to come up with something at least semi akin to it to try and get us that hype, which I understand 100%. Like, honestly, I am excited for this character. Whenever Handmaiden Decoy is summoned, she taunts until defeated, which can't be dispelled or prevented, so she'll just have a locked taunt that will never go away until she dies. She's immune to all other buffs and debuffs and doesn't take turns. We'll see that a little bit later in her kit. She just has a basic ability when she gets called to assist, and that's it. Whenever she's defeated by an enemy, the enemy who defeated her gains doubt for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted, and Queen Amidala gains bonus turn and damage immunity, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. While Handmaiden Decoy is active, whenever a heal over time or protection over time expires on a Galactic Republic ally, they recover 5% health and protection. And so that is both. I'm just saying that right now. That is both. So whenever a hot or a pot expires, which includes when it gets dispelled, they recover 5% health and protection, which we're going to be getting about 6 stacks on everyone at any given moment, which means 6 stacks of each equals, what is that, 30%, 60% health and protection back if someone mass buffs dispels on all of your allies, which is insane. And then whenever a heal over time or protection over time expires on Queen Amidala specifically, she gains a stack of Queen's Protection, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And for each stack she has, all other Galactic Republic allies will gain double the stats that she gets from that buff. And then Handmaiden's immune to these effects, and they persist when the decoy is defeated, but are dispelled when Queen Amidala is defeated. Queen's Protection is 3% max health and max protection, plus 5% potency and tenacity, and 5 speed, which means your allies will be getting 100 speed. Queen Amidala herself will be getting 50 speed. You'll be getting, you know, a whole bunch of max health protection, all kinds of stuff. So really beefy over time. So they start out kind of iffy and have a lot of just bounce back potential. And then as time goes on, they get really beefy, really fast. It sounds like it's going to be like you're going to slow down the enemy team with a Padme on your team, and then you're just going to bounce back and just absolutely decimate them. While in Grand Arena, so now this is finally where the Omicron starts. All the rest of that was just normal. If there are no Galactic Legends or Scoundrel allies, and all allies are Galactic Republic, all allies gain 25% crit damage, 40% mastery, and are immune to fear and healing immunity. Would you look at that? Another immunity to something that Darth Bane does. Whenever an ally is inflicted with a damage over time, they dispel it, and allies gain a stack of healing over time and protection over time. Honestly, this might go infinite and crash our games. If anyone's using a Darth Vader against this with the Darth Vader lead, it's not going to be very common, but if it does happen, whenever a dot gets dispelled, it gets reapplied, and so this will go infinite and the game will crash. That is my guess. I hope they fix this and add in some kind of addendum. But regardless, it's going to be super nice. It'll basically stop our Tusken Raider team in its tracks. Very, very interesting overall ability. And then at the start of each encounter, summon an ally Handmaiden Decoy. Whenever an ally decoy is critically hit, all enemies are inflicted with potency down, tenacity down, which can't be evaded, which will allow us to get those dots out even more that are baked into this kit, as well as some of the other debuffs we might be getting from other characters to come. So at the start of the encounter is you get the Handmaiden, only if you have the Omicron. We got here the Handmaiden's kit. It's just whenever she's called to assist, Galactic Republic allies gain 10% health and protection back, and grant advantage to a random enemy who doesn't already have it. And the point of that is to give them advantage, because when they crit on her and when they crit on this team in general, they get buffs for it. And so it sounds like they're helping the other team, but they're actually helping your team by giving advantage to the enemy. The leader ability, very interesting, very much calls back to the old Padme kit. Very much feels like it's going to work really well with the old Padme kit as another character on this team. I feel like Padme will finally have a home with Queen Amidala. So all allies have 20% defense and 15% max health and max protection. At the start of the battle, if all allies are Galactic Republic and there are no Galactic Legend allies, whenever an enemy attacks out of turn, they are inflicted with a damage over time, which can't be evaded or resisted. Remove 10% turn meter from all enemies. So basically, yeah, it's just, you attack out of turn, you're screwed. You're losing turn meter, you're getting damage over times, it's going to be bad for you. At the start of each ally's turn, they gain 3% crit damage. For each stack of hot, they have 3% offense stacking. For each stack of protection over... it's critical damage for hots, and then it's offense for pots. And then it just lasts until the end of their turn, but even so, you're looking at roughly 15 to 18% per turn in general. So you're going to be getting a lot of offense and a lot of critical damage just from things happening. Whenever an enemy critically hits an ally, so this is the big part about the advantage coming from the Handmaiden. Whenever an enemy critically hits an ally, that enemy has minus 5% crit damage, defense, and offense, stacking to 50% until the end of the encounter, which can't be resisted. And so they'll just continually crit your team and just slowly lose out on their crit damage, their defense, and their offense, allowing you to just take hits, and then you'll just come back and absolutely destroy. So it's going to be very, very interesting. While in Grand Arenas, if there are no Galactic Legend allies, and all allies are Galactic Republic, whenever an ally uses special ability, they gain a bonus based on the roll. Attackers gain offense up, have another ally assist, and do 20% more damage on that. Tanks recover 25% health and protection, and then support and healers are going to gain protection up 50% and speed up for 3 turns. Insane kit, so much words, so many words, but basically what you need to know is hots and pots, healing over time and protection over times are going to be insane on this team. The team's going to be able to bounce back from insane amounts of damage if you buff Dispel at all. You're going to be trapped behind a taunt, and so you're going to have to find a way around that taunt or kill off the taunt as fast as you can, because that taunt is going to basically be hugely problematic for you and give them tons of buffs. And then on top of that, attacking out of turn is going to absolutely destroy your entire team. And you are basically looking at a team that will shut down all of your damage and negate all of your damage and then just sit there and pick off your guys. So it's very interesting to see where they go with this. And they put a little thing up here, and this is the big thing I want to talk about with you guys. Designed to work alongside Queen Amidala are Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan, 2 units that will be in the game before the 3rd Queen Amidala conquest. I'm really excited for these characters. I love Qui-Gon, I love Obi-Wan, they're 2 of my favorite characters in Star Wars. But more importantly, this is the first time that I can think of where we've added a character that isn't a dynamically different character. Instead of getting a character like, Padawan Obi-Wan, we're getting Padawan Obi-Wan in episode 1, then we're getting, episode 3 Obi-Wan, we're getting separate versions. We have old Ben Obi-Wan. It's separate versions of the same character. CLS, JKL, Farm Boy Luke, they're all different iterations of the same character. They're in different parts of their lives. This is the first time we've seen one where it's the same character in the same movie, but a different version of him. So we have Master Qui-Gon Jinn coming, which is really interesting to me, and I think would be really, really interesting for the future, because if they're willing to do this, we might get like a Darth Tyrannus Galactic Legend. Exactly, Clone Wars Chewie. No, there are 2 of them. There are 2 Qui-Gon Jinns, which could be big for getting a Galactic Legend Darth Tyrannus, getting a new General Grievous, getting a new any kind of character. They're kind of opening this up. And so it's definitely something to think about, and something I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, what other characters you'd like to see, newer iterations of the characters, just to be able to get, your favorite characters and what you believe is their top power. Because I've heard GL Darth Tyrannus a lot in the last 6 months. But that's kind of the TLDR for this kit. It's just looks absolutely banger, and I think I'm going to love this character, and honestly, impressive for being on the coattails of Bane. I didn't think they could pull off something on the coattails of Bane. It sounds like they are, but I am worried about the power creep a little bit. Otherwise, sounds like an awesome team, and I can't wait to get Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and maybe I'll finally relic my Padme, because I've never reliced my Padme and never felt a need to. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful in understanding the kit for yourself and getting you into a place where you're like hyped for it, but also just understanding the entire block of text this is. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.